2016 and offer a variety of brakes from pick your teams and pick your players to random teams and drafted teams, mixers, and more. We built this app with the collector in mind, with features like scheduled drop times, custom notification settings, and earn rewards on purchases, among other things. And we want to be a one-stop shop for collectors, which is why we've added services like PSA grading and eBay consignment straight from brakes. We are a PSA authorized dealer and offer grading services from value to walkthrough. All you need to do is fill out the form on our website within 24 hours of a break completing, and we will take care of the rest. All submissions for breaks come with a review and wipe down of your card, and you won't be charged anything until we get your card back from PSA. eBay consignment is a similar process where you will need to fill out a form on our site within 24 hours of a break completing for any cards you'd like to submit. All cards will be listed next business day for a 5-day auction starting at 99 cents. And after the sale, you'll have the option to be paid out via check, PayPal goods, or break credit. The links for these services will be in the description of every break. If you have any questions about how the app or how our breaks work, feel free to message us on your preferred social platform. Or jump in the chat of one of our breaks and the break host can help walk you through it.
What's happening, ladies and gents? Happy Friday.
It is that time once again.
Welcome. Can we call these episodes now? Are we allowed to call them episodes? Or can we just say another weekly installment of All Card Ship? Like it's not technically a...
I feel like if you call it an episode, it has to have like a number or something like that. Season 1, episode...
That's true.
What week is it? Is it like the third week of the fourth week of the month?
Fourth week of the month, yeah.
Episode 4?
Episode 4.
I think we missed a couple at the beginning of the year, though. So maybe this is episode 2 or 3.
Did we? I don't know if we did.
We did actually. For the Upper Deck Conference?
We missed probably that. We missed the first 2. It was technically 5
so
weeks.
This is episode 3. Season
2.
Season 2. Episode 3.
Of All Card Ship.
All right.
All right, I'll start throwing those in the title moving forward.
The nomenclature is really important. Or is it season or episode 203?
No. Episode 203?
Year 2.
No, yeah, but you can't call it episode 203 then.
I think there's a scientific way to do this. Maybe we need to study podcasts for dummies.
There's got to be a book
There's
out
got
there.
to be a podcast for dummies. Somebody
100%.
Google it. Somebody Google it. Is there a podcast for dummies book? Because we need it. We need one. So
I'm going with season... well, we can just do like S02 EP03.
Got it.
Or just podcast number, however many times we've done this.
My only frame of reference is like Paramount Plus.
Right. Yeah, but they do seasons and episodes.
They do. Seasons and episodes.
All right, it's settled.
It's been decided.
What's happening, everyone? Happy Friday. Who's all here with us? We got Al in the house. Jake's here. Oz is here. Big Sales is here. What's going on, guys?
Fast Fingers Jake.
Fast Fingers Jake. Someone's got to, people, Jake just might be more dedicated than anyone else.
I think so. I think Jake just cares more. Everybody else just slacking off.
Yep. Especially Oz. I'm surprised Oz isn't sleeping right now. It's early out in California. 7 o'clock.
Overachiever.
Jake is excited to use all that credit on Topps Chrome WWE today.
It's kind of a fun release. I mean, there's a lot of hype around this release. I mean, Topps has had WWE relatively recently.
Right.
Then it bounced over to Panini. Now it's back squarely at Topps. But it's kind of back at Topps in an era where they're doing a lot of different things to make products better.
Yep.
And so I think there's a lot of anticipation on Topps Chrome WWE and what they're going to do to make this release better.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you already saw stuff like the Rock autographs and everything on card and all the inscriptions and everything.
The Rock autograph, I'm just going to say, it fits my nickname collection requirement.
Would you technically classify those as like actual nicknames?
Yeah, it is. Because he's
But
Dwayne
are those
The
like
Rock Johnson.
Yeah, but are those more like stage names, like not necessarily nicknames?
It's a nickname.
Yeah, no, I'm just that's an honest question
Yeah, it's for sure.
because I figure if that's their stage name, like that's what they kind of.
But I would want to autograph baseball that actually says like
Dwayne
Dwayne Johnson The Rock or Dwayne The Rock Johnson or something like that.
Right,
That's
different.
Like just having a baseball that just says The Rock, not quite the same for me.
Yeah, because that's like he's just signing his regular name.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
But I have Andre the Giant.
Oh, so his nickname was the Giant, or was his nickname Andre the Giant?
He was Andre the Giant.
Oh, see, that's what I'm asking. Like, if
He
it was,
doesn't- he
it was
didn't
anything
sign-
in quotes,
He didn't sign. No, he didn't sign like his last name on there.
was his actual name Andre?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. I'm just trying to think through like the whole nickname to stage name type of thing.
Stan the Man Usual.
Yeah, but that's different because his nickname is obviously the Man. I didn't know if
No,
Andre.
it wasn't. It was Stan the Man.
I bet if
No
you
one ever called him the Man. Hey, the Man.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty dumb.
No one ever called him the Man. So it's Stan the Man.
I'm just thinking, when he signed, did he throw the Man in quotations?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
See, so the Man is like Andre the Giant. Never did he ever? Well, obviously he didn't sign that much.
He didn't
anyways.
sign hardly at all. That's why that's why Andre's autograph is worth so much. Is he
Correct.
never ever signed.
Yeah. All right, that makes a little bit more sense. It would have been different if his name wasn't actually Andre, I think is what I'm thinking.
Well, you just hate on Andre. Like,
No,
You
no,
just
that's-
don't like people named Andre.
No, I'm just saying because then it would his name like they don't call him like Dwayne the Rock, right? Like it'd be different if he went by like Eric the Rock while he was actually performing.
Eric the Rock. Okay, got it. I do not have a Princess Bride inscription, but Princess Bride is one of the epic movies of all time. Have you seen it?
No.
You must see Princess Bride. It is a classic movie. And Andre the Giant is in it.
Is there a new one?
Well, add...
No, it's 1987.
1987.
Oh, the graphic looked newer, so I was curious.
That's just how far, how advanced they were for their time, with the giant.
You know what? Actually, I may have seen this.
Giant rats that'll chew your arm off.
I don't know. Maybe I did or didn't. Is this one kind of like? It's kind of like. Oh no, I definitely have seen this movie. It's kind of like who was that group that was like a comedy group that was like super weird, like
Monty Python?
Yeah. Is it kind of similar to Monty Python?
Not quite, not really as like
Outlandish.
nuts as Monty Python was.
Yep.
Really out there.
Okay.
Like Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail, like that was like
Yeah, that's a classic.
bonkers. But yeah, I mean, you got Billy Crystal was in this.
No, I have seen this movie.
Yeah, this is
Can confirm.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is the swordsman dude right here,
Yes,
and they.
you killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah, I've seen it. All right, I got one down.
Oh man, inconceivable. Sorry.
I don't remember all that.
No, you don't.
I just started. My new thing lately has been. I don't know if you get the same thing on your TikTok, where I'll see like legit, not full movies all in one clip, but like TV shows or episodes, like clip by clip, and I'll just watch. So I saw a bunch of. Princess
And then you
Bride.
like scroll. You swipe right so you can see part 2.
Yeah, but then sometimes like the next part is gone, and then I just watch.
And then you're
I just
just
watch
left
10
like-
minutes of something,
And then you
I,
only got half.
Yeah.
And it like leaves you hanging.
It's so dumb.
I get that with House.
That's a
the
doctor show.
Yeah.
I got a couple of those. Yeah,
I get that with House on TikTok.
I
It's
got.
like,
Yeah, I've got some House. I got a whole bunch of Suits, which I actually haven't seen Suits, like the full movie, the full TV show yet. But I've seen a lot of it through TikTok, just random
you
parts
need to
of their
watch
episodes.
Suits.
I do. I actually do want to
Suits
start.
is epic. Suits and Billions.
Yeah, you told me about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen and I just started. So we watched Yellowstone, and then we watched 1883, which I was actually really upset that was only one season show.
Right.
because I actually really liked it. And then now we just started 1923 or something like that. So we're doing.
At
we're
least
doing that
she's
trilogy.
influencing you to watch some things.
Yeah,
Because you
I'm getting culture.
historically watch zero.
Correct.
So on top of WWE Chrome, we also have Hoops Basketball releasing today, right?
Yeah, Hoops Basketball,
So-
new class of rookies.
Brand new rookies. First look at the new class of rookies.
Yep. The nice thing is, too, I mean, there's a couple top guys that do not have autos in this year's product, like Stephon Castle. But it's a lot different than last year, where there's a lot more guys in kind of a wider crop of rookies, I'd say, that do have autographs, compared to, obviously, last year, the big one, Wemby not having autos and that kind of hurting some things. So, yeah, it's a pretty broad class that pricing is relatively last year a lot better already without the Wemby hype, and should be pretty interesting. So I like the fact that we're gonna have a lot more rookie autographs. I don't remember. I was just looking at it this morning. I forget exactly who and who doesn't. I think Dillingham has it. The Timberwolves are loaded because Ant has like a dual auto with all of the top rookies basically, which is kind of cool. In that the
Anthony Edwards and Reed Shepherd.
yeah, like he has one with Reed. He has one with literally everyone. I'll double check on Dillingham. But yeah, Ant has Donovan Clingan, Matas Buzelis, Reed Shepherd, today, and Dalton Gannett. Like I don't know why they chose Ant for everything, but they got him in there. Hot rookie signatures 10 in. So Dillingham is one of the ones that does not have ink for rookies.
Hoops. So
in hoops.
hopefully we see him in a later set, but we won't know until we start seeing these come out.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's going to be a Fanatics guy or
Yeah.
if he's going to turn up.
Which makes sense with some of these guys that have already, like Matas did sign for Bowman Chrome U and stuff like that, but obviously is in hoops. There's a couple other guys that have signed for Bowman Chrome, like Bronny obviously is I think probably safe to say he's going to be a Fanatics exclusive, and Dillingham. So
Right.
So who knows? That can change throughout the course of the year. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to have any autos
Yep.
throughout this entire season, but
And there's one more release today. What's the third one? Why am I spacing on?
Clear Cut Hockey.
Oh, Clear Cut Hockey. That's actually a fun product to rip.
Clear Cut is always one of my favorites.
Yep. Yep.
It's similar to like a Clearly Authentic for Topps, one card per box, one autograph.
Last year I hit a Mario Lemieux auto out of Clear Cut.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yep. Nate was really mad in the shop because he opened like 4 boxes
I didn't get anything.
and
good.
didn't get anything good, and I opened one and hit a Lemieux. And I rubbed it in hard. I was
That's
like,
funny.
I'm just better at this than you are.
That's funny.
It's a skill game. Right?
Big sales. I'm seeing everything good on our end in terms of sound and everything. I'd say try refreshing, or it might be just a connection issue or something. But everything's good on our end. So, Twan, we'll be breaking that all today. We've got all 3 releases dropping here in the afternoon, and then we'll be running it all day long with
starting at
with
10
those
o'clock.
releases. Yep. We got another little dual caser of Bowman Draft dropping tonight for tomorrow.
Draft.
If you guys have not seen Bowman Draft Sapphire, do you remember what the exact production numbers were on that?
No, but it is really clear that they overloaded this product.
Yeah, they kept the production the same exact number of boxes as last year.
It's bonkers. I mean, the amount of autographs that we are seeing
Of these big names.
and color of big names has been fantastic on Draft Sapphire.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
We've been kind of slowly chipping away at it, but when it's gone, it's gone. So that one is a hot one.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you-
shooting up in price in the secondary market. Like we just can't get any more.
Right.
It's gonna be gonzo.
Speaking of Bowman Draft, big card got hit this week.
Saw the keg super off the board.
Off the board.
I think the Bazzano was already hit, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So the Cags was the monster that
Right.
was still lurking out there that we hadn't seen. That one got snagged by somebody this week.
Yeah, just randomly. I just randomly scrolled Twitter and saw it pop.
Right. Right. I haven't seen the Pod Paraja Cags.
Yeah, I haven't seen much for
So-
Paparajas yet, but I haven't been looking too hard.
Right.
So, and the nice thing is you got the pod non-auto and the autos that'll both be out there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. The dual case draft. So it's a case of jumbo.
yep.
Or hobby. It's the 3 auto box. It used to be jumbo. We got to be careful now because now you have people be like, oh, I thought this was super jumbo, not hobby jumbo. But jumbo now as the 3 auto box plus a case of Sapphire as a player break.
Yeah.
Was a blast last week.
It was loaded.
So,
It was really fun.
yeah.
Yep, so we're running that back. And then we only have one more K2, maybe? Transcendent?
2 cases of Transcendent left. So then we're gonna be done with that one.
Yep.
So Smells Skunky says the Pod Paraja Cags was pulled by David Adams. So that one's out there.
No, is he talking? Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it still could be auto or non-auto then, too, right? I'm not sure which one was
Right.
pulled.
Yeah, there's both.
So, regardless.
So yeah, 2 cases of Transcendent left. We're actually bringing Transcendent this weekend as a different format than the Survivor Random. We had a lot of people asking us to just go straight pick your team
Yep.
on Transcendent. So we are going straight pick your team on Transcendent for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye out for that if you want to snag your team instead of, there's some people like to leave it up to chance. Maybe somebody's like, I crush randoms. I can't do a Survivor random because all I ever do is win randoms.
Sure, you wouldn't
So
wanna do that
I would do
format then.
badly in a Survivor random.
Yep.
They're like, I just want to buy the Twins.
Yep.
Or I just want to buy my Rockies.
Makes sense.
And buy their pick your teams.
Makes
So if
sense.
you're like amazing at randoms and don't want to sweat a Survivor random because you'll be out in the first round,
You got the pick your team.
then you got pick your team coming. That's for you guys.
Exactly. Oz asked a good question. Did you get an invitation
I
yet?
do not have my invitation yet.
Yikes.
I still do not have my invitation to the Transcendent party yet, and I am still shopping.
From what I heard, they're kind of actually selling better than past years.
Yeah, I mean it's like any release. Like the first handful of them sell for a little bit higher, then it'll settle out. So if I don't get one right out of the gates, I'm not super worried about it.
Yeah.
I think in a week or two, I'll be able to pay the typical $3,000.
That's kind of what it's been.
That's
right?
where it's been for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
$3,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be able to find a ticket there
Right.
in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
About 2 tickets, right?
well, you think you're going?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I took Woody last time.
Seriously, yeah. What do you win the competition?
Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is there any indication on where it's going to be yet? Like
No.
at all?
Nope, they don't announce that in advance.
Do you know where you're hoping it's going to be?
I would like to see it in Pittsburgh at PNC Park
That would make sense.
with Skeens as the guest
Yeah.
since it's his rookie. Last year they did Gunner and Adley both
Right.
in Baltimore. So they do the J-Rod's year they did Julio Rodriguez.
Yep.
Thank God they didn't do Wander. So they do often try to take the biggest or one of the biggest rookies. So,
Right.
Ellie in Cincinnati or something
Yeah.
like that would be fun.
Yeah. What if they did like Toronto and Joey Loperfido or someone?
You're all in on Cleveland and Kyle Manzardo, aren't you?
If I did find out it was
Amos
Manzardo,
paying like $10,000 for that ticket.
I'm going. I'm going for sure.
Oh man. So
They gotta say that for next year with Young Kenzie Noel.
no.
2025 Transcendent Young Kenzie Noel, big Christmas.
Hard pay.
They
No,
do
they
it
gotta
on
do
Christmas.
They got to do the Washington because it would be Wood.
Oh,
and
that one's the
James
easy
Wood
one, right?
and Dylan Cruz in Washington.
Right.
Would be an awesome one. So I mean, we're only 2 weeks away. Less than 2 weeks
week
away
and a half,
now
yeah. 12 days.
From
13 days.
from Series 1 baseball.
Yep.
So I hope your fingers are ready for a lot of pack ripping.
Nothing better than Series
And I
1.
hope our sorting team is ready for an epic amount of sorting.
They're the ones that need some prayers.
So, yeah.
If you guys don't know who to chase, we kind of alluded to this last week, but we just finished up our full write-up on, I want to say, like 20 or so rookies within 2025 Series 1. A lot of these guys you probably heard of before. It actually is a pretty deep checklist. I mean, you obviously got your big names in the Dylan Cruzes and the James Woods and the Kobe Mayos and guys like that. Brooks Lee, some of those guys that you've all heard of, but also some guys that you probably, have heard of but haven't seen in a little bit, like a guy like Elvis Martinez, who was a really big prospect in 2019 that, worked his way through and then, finally got called up. Some of those type of guys, there's a lot kind of sprinkled in there, which makes a really, really interesting, full class.
We tried to go a little bit deeper on the rookie class this year, just to put a little more people on your radar.
Right.
More people to look at. It's easy to go into the first set of the new season just focused on like the top 2 guys.
Right.
So we just thought but you never know how they're going to play, right? You never know how they're going to play. So we tried to cast a little bit wider net.
Yep.
Throw a few more people on the radar. So there's a few more people to keep an eye out for during spring training.
Yeah, I mean, spring training's coming up.
It is. Ozzy's already got tickets. But, spring training's not necessarily, like, the biggest ticket drop that happened this week.
Oh, boy.
So,
I know what you're going to talk about. No one else has any idea what you're going to talk about.
I don't know how many of you guys were watching this, but on the 27th, so 4 days ago, MLB dropped the Tokyo Series tickets. So if you haven't heard, like MLB, last year they opened in South Korea and they had some games in South Korea. This year they're opening the season, Dodgers and Cubs in Tokyo. And so there's doing a series of games where like the Dodgers and the Cubs are in Japan. They're playing against like the Yomiuri Giants.
Yep.
And then and so they'll do some exhibition games against the Yomiuri Giants at Tokyo Dome. But then also they're going to play each other.
Right.
Two games. And they dropped those tickets earlier this week. I totally missed out.
Yeah,
this one
sleeping.
is really, really high on my list. I used to have an office in Tokyo, so I love Japan.
Yep.
And I really, really want to go to these games. So if anybody watching would really like to go to Tokyo with me, let's figure out how to get some tickets. We can StubHub some tickets and take a little March. I think the games are I think it would be like March 13th through the 20th is the week that we'd want to go. Mm-hmm. It's a great time to go also because it's cherry blossom season.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we could actually go to Tokyo during cherry blossom season, see the Dodgers with Roki, Yamamoto, Ohtani on their home turf, and the Cubs with Shota and Seiya Suzuki.
Yep.
Right? So you got like 5 homegrown
legit.
Japanese players ready to rock and roll. It's an absolute blast.
It's cool.
So,
I love that they've been doing that stuff, and I love how in time, where did they do last year? Was it Britain last year? Or something?
it was South Korea.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. This one's even better. I love how they're doing this within, especially with the Japanese, heritage of these guys. That's gonna be such a cool experience.
Yeah, I mean, and Tokyo Dome is an awesome place to watch baseball. I got to see the Giants, the Yomiuri, the Tokyo Giants play there a number of times, and it's just a different experience. Baseball in Japan's a different experience than anything we have in the United States. They actually have a section for away fans.
Okay.
And home team fans aren't allowed to sit in that section.
They do the same thing with soccer. And when I was in Italy, they did the same thing with soccer.
And honestly, they sing and chant back and forth at each other the entire game.
That's wild.
The entire game, singing, chanting. It's just a really, really cool environment.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to having that for a major league game. Like that could be absolutely epic.
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta say, I definitely prefer how baseball is in the States for like normal
Just the
regular
laid,
season. Like
laid back,
I want to
chill.
go have a beer and just relax. I don't want to be up and chill. Like certain times, like playoff time, or like then it's cool.
You're not gonna paint your face or draw a letter on your chest or any
No,
of that
I
kind of
don't
stuff.
think so. Maybe for playoffs I will.
All right, I hear you.
Got it, Brett. That's what it was. I knew they did. I thought they did a London series at some point.
Yeah.
So.
Other things, other sports news.
Yeah.
I literally just found out about the new format for the NBA All-Star Game. Have you heard about the new format for the NBA All-Star Game?
I have not heard about.
They are
recently,
no longer doing East versus West.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about
They're
that.
actually doing like drafted teams.
I thought they did that a couple years ago.
I think this is new. So
No, I'm pretty sure because they did. I distinctly remember like Kevin Durant and LeBron drafting teams a couple years ago, and they left like someone that Kevin Durant had beef with like until the very end, and Kevin's like, okay, I'm gonna take this other dude who like was not as good. I forget the player, but they definitely did a draft.
well, have they been doing that every time?
Yeah.
Here, look up the format.
Yeah, 2025 NBA All-Star Draft will be conducted live during the...
This is completely new to me.
Yeah.
How am I hearing about this for the first time?
Team Chuck, Team Shaq, and Team Kenny.
So they're selecting 8 players.
Yeah.
And it's 3 teams.
4 teams.
4 teams. So they're doing a tournament.
Because Team
Man,
Candace,
that's the new.
Team,
That's
right. Team
that's
Candace
the
will be
new
the
part.
winning team from the Castro Rising Stars 14. So all the like rookies
So it's
and young
4
guys
yeah,
are
it's
in the Rising
4
Stars tournament.
Yep.
And then going into
I
the,
also heard that the NBA asked Caitlin Clark to participate in their 3-point contest,
really?
and she turned it down.
That's crazy. That would have been cool to see that actually.
You know, having somebody come over from the NBA or from the WNBA into
I think they did that with.
compete. But
They did. Sabrina Ionescu did that.
Yeah, Ionescu did it. Was that last year or a couple years ago? I don't think it was
This
last
is
year.
1 year ago. Yeah.
But having
Yeah,
Caitlin
because
Clark,
she went up against Steph Curry.
yeah, having Caitlin Clark come over, but it sounds like she totally declined,
Yeah.
which is a little disappointing. I would have loved to see Caitlin Clark.
Doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
that would've been
head-to-head
cool.
against the best. So.
Yeah. Brad, I agree. I don't. Could the NBA do that though? You've seen what the NHL is doing with the Four Nations tournament,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So instead of their like normal All-Star break, they've got the 4. Yeah, it's not Russia, but United States, Canada, Finland, and I think Sweden. Yeah. Are doing like basically like a mini Olympics with just those 4 teams for their All-Star. Like I'm actually crazy excited. That's starting up pretty soon.
Yeah. Is there enough international diversity to do that in the NBA? I mean, you got
America,
a little bit
you
of
do
French.
America, you do Canadian for sure.
Yeah, I mean, could you field or
You'd have to do. I don't know if you could do
With
French
Wemby?
to be honest. Yeah, Wemby and Rudy and like Zachary Rissachet. You could probably do a French team, and then maybe just another like all Europe team.
yeah, there's just not as much. Like the NHL makes a ton of sense to do
Correct.
this because there's some competitive parity,
For sure.
right?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and in hockey across these countries.
Yeah, and you're leaving out
There's-
arguably the biggest country
There's
in Russia
not
too.
that competitive parity yet across international basketball. I mean, when we field the best the best USA team possible for the Olympics,
Yeah.
they,
I don't know.
they
Canada's getting good.
yeah, I don't know.
Canada's getting really good. They're gonna have the MVP this year, and France was the second best country. And I'm not gonna say they did. I don't even.
Actually, France
What a
played
great
like
game.
out of their minds. Even their role players and the guys that aren't in the NBA.
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
exactly.
how are these guys holding? These guys
Did
are
you-
actually hold their own a little
I don't
bit.
know if the documentary come out. Did you see the teasers for like the recap of all of that, where they're like going behind the scenes and interviewing guys
No.
and stuff? There's a classic clip where they're talking about like they're interviewing the French players before the Olympics or before that USA game, and they're like, we played together, for 10, 20 years. Like these Americans just think they can throw some good players together and compete at a high level. And then it like pans to Kevin Durant and he starts laughing. He goes, "What? Their chemistry is going to help you when you have to guard Steph?"
Right.
And then it just cuts to Steph going crazy.
Yeah, maybe they just do like, I like the idea of territory. Kind of like our they could just steal our collector games idea and then just have like a North Central and a West, and they could just chop the country into smaller pieces.
I don't know. There might be some gerrymandering that goes on that rigs that a little bit in terms of different areas.
Oh man!
So, are we doing collector games again this year, or what do you think?
To be determined. What do you guys think? Should we do collectors games again?
Could that be a yearly thing? Could that be the annual collector games?
I think that's the question. Is do we do the annual collector games, or is this something that you do every 4 years?
Well, you can do
or
it
every
2
two
years.
with the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
In coordination with Olympic competition. If you guys have thoughts or ideas on that, let us know.
Yeah, I love the collector games. That was a blast. It's one of our biggest just things that we did last year overall. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, feel free to hit us with your questions. I know we've been trying to catch them as they drop into the chat, but we would love to make sure we touch on any of your questions about the hobby, the industry, what's going on, our business, products, you name it.
Yep.
This is a good time to drop them.
Yep.
So we can start tackling some of that.
Oh, someone on YouTube just asked, Emil, what sweatshirt are you wearing? Well, thanks for asking. That would be my new Ohio State 2024 National Championship sweatshirt.
What? On YouTube? Where? Where's that chat?
Right there.
What?
No one actually asked
There's
the question.
no one. There's no one here. There's actually no one on YouTube that asks what sweatshirt you're wearing.
Yeah,
wow.
But the guys that are on the app don't know that.
That's totally bogus. Just so he could stand up and show off his sweatshirt to the whole world. He fabricates a question about it. I'm not sure that's how this works.
All right, it's time for some actual questions now.
Man. At least you're not wearing the Bortles jersey. That's worse.
No, the Bortles jersey is sweet. I'll have to bring that out sometime soon.
Worse.
I don't own a Will Howard jersey, unfortunately, yet, and especially not a K-State one. But shout out to K-State for getting them ready to go.
I'm going to have to start breaking out the Indiana Hoosiers gear just to combat this awfulness.
No, you need to break out that Jordan full set with the shorts.
Ooh.
I think that's still hiding out somewhere.
I don't know if I kept that.
I don't know if you did either.
That might have gone to Titus's dad.
Yeah.
To hit
I think it would have
eBay.
been sweet, though.
Oh,
the
man.
most fraudulent Natty Chaps in the playoff era. No, not a shot. Just the best team. Just the best team in the nation.
Yeah. So, I did see somebody, I think I saw a couple of people bring it up earlier. Let's not just gloss over it because it's an icky topic. It's been big in social media for the last 2 days. Really, yesterday is when it really caught fire.
Yeah.
And that was the poor color comments that were made on live stream by another breaker.
That's a good way to put it. That's a PG way to put it.
It is the PG way to put it. I know that some people have asked us our opinion, what's our stance, how do we feel about it, what should happen, all of these kinds of things. If you did not see it on social media, the video's out there. If you really want to dig into it, it is not family friendly. I'm not going to repeat it. So I'm going to, you guys know we operate with a value system that is different than some people out there. I believe that's probably why a lot of you guys choose to hang out with us, because you have similar value systems that you share with us. And at the end of the day, there was a breaker who made some off-color comments. They were pretty bad about, child sexualization, and it was gross. All I can say is it does not align with the value system that we have. It makes me sad as a father of a 6-year-old girl. It makes me sad that that's something that somebody would talk about in the guise of entertainment. I mean, at the end of the day, what we do in this business is for entertainment and for fun and for enjoyment and for community, because you guys love the same things that we love, and we get to participate and enjoy that together. And at the end of the day, not everybody in this world, not everybody in this culture shares our value system, dealers and collectors alike. Do I think that it's going to put these guys out of business? No, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of collectors that share their value system and joke about the things that they joke about and think that what they joke about is okay, and that's just not us. So it's not a big threat to us as a business. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that the people that are part of our community and share our value system, I don't think there's a risk that those collectors are going to go over to this other breaker. But I also don't think that their collectors are ever going to come to us. We've we've been called the Mr. Rogers of breaking for 8 years. People have called us this because of how we choose to represent ourselves and our values on camera. And so we're never going to be the hype beasts and the controversial comments and jokes and stuff like that. That's not who we are. And so those people who are attracted to that are just never going to gravitate towards us. Now, these guys are way bigger than us. And that shows that there are a lot of people that share those values. And that's disappointing and sad to me. But I also, in many years of learning who I am and learning, and building a culture here at Real Sports Cards, have kind of grown to accept that I can't expect everybody to have the same values as me, because they don't come from the same background and perspective and belief system and worldview that I do. And so people are going to have different values than I do. And all I can do is stay true to the values that I have, and hope that other people that have similar values come alongside and want to do this journey with us. So, we talked a lot about what our rallying cry is. We had our strategic planning meetings earlier in January, and, we wanted to come to something as a team that could be our rallying cry, that we measure all of our decisions against and all of our goals as a business, everything like that against. And, the rallying cry that we settled on for 2025 is we collect friends. And so at the end of the day, we get asked all the time, what do you guys collect? What do you guys collect? And my heart is that, this is a community as much as it is a business, and that friendships matter. And actually that's the most important thing. So we're actually not measuring our 2025 based on revenue at all. We actually threw out all of our revenue KPIs. Like last year, we had more revenue targets, KPIs, metrics that we were working towards. And for 2025, we actually threw all of it out. We actually have 0 revenue targets for 2025. And we just are measuring everything against We Collect Friends as our anthem. And I believe that if our decisions, our business decisions and customer service decisions and product offering decisions and all of these things are held to that standard of We Collect Friends, then the revenue and the performance, so the financial performance of the business will follow along. So a little bit unique and different, I think. I don't think that's very common for businesses out there, but that's where we're going this year. So
I mean, it's even stuff like doing these Q&As. Like, we don't necessarily do them just to preach to you guys on stuff, but because especially for Ryan, like Ryan doesn't break at all anymore. It's like this is the only opportunity to have that live time that you had all the time when you started everything. So that's why we love when you guys come and hang out with us and just chat about whatever every single Friday morning.
Yeah, I built this into my schedule because I miss hanging out. Like, that's one of the things I miss the most of actually being behind camera and breaking is getting to hang out with all of you guys that I've been, and some of you I've been friends with for 8 years through Facebook, so and some of you just like cross-check, just come and hang out at the store and bug us on a regular basis because you live too close.
But also in our rally and cry, if we collect friends, is like we also don't want to collect certain people as friends. And Matt, cross-check was definitely top of that list. Oh, that's funny. All right, that good to say on that.
That's really all I want to say on the topic. It's all out there in social media. I don't think I have to name names. I don't think I have to say what they said. It's out there. Bad. If you really want to know, you can find it.
Nothing changing for us because of that. That's for sure.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so I saw a few comments, so we'll kind of get back into it. If we missed any of your comments, guys, I apologize. The first one I saw was from Brad a little bit ago, so it's talking about 23-24 clear-cut hockey and how it looked like there was a lot of update autos this year compared to years past. I'd say...
Real quick, Lou, I see your question on YouTube. I'm going to answer that question after the clear-cut question. Perfect. So don't go anywhere.
So basically, my feeling for that is, and you have to remember, so this year's 23-24 only. Last year was the dual year product where they were catching up after not having clear-cut in 21-22. So it was 21-22 plus 22-23 all combined into one. So I think being behind there, getting caught up with everything in that, but then still having stragglers, I think would be what is pushing more of those autos to 23-24 and why you might see a higher bit of update autos this year, which I would think that you wouldn't see in the next few years. But that's just my gut kind of feeling on it. It's nice because it makes a lot of those spots a lot better when you have rookie autos from years past kind of in the mix with that. So that's kind of regarding clear cut there, Brad, for you.
Yep. Awesome. Lou on Facebook or on YouTube actually asked a question that I want to touch on. He asked, did this shop take PPP loans or PPP money back when it was given out during COVID? And I want to specifically address that because I know there were a lot of people in this hobby that took PPP loans. Some of them that maybe needed it, and some of them that probably didn't. It's still a relevant thing, and I'm actually really happy to say that real sports cards did not take PPP loans during COVID. And there's this very specific reason why. We actually had all of our accountants, our bankers, everybody that we did business with from the financial side of things encouraging us and recommending that we take this free money as a small business because we absolutely were eligible for PPP loans. We chose not to take PPP loans because my belief was that PPP loans were specifically for small businesses that were struggling and having a hard time paying their people and keeping people on payroll. And ultimately, our business during COVID grew 600%. We had the fortunate experience of already having a solid and at scale breaking business before COVID happened. Mm-hmm. So we were in a really good position. We benefited a lot from COVID, and growing 600%. Like, when I truly asked myself, like, should we take this free money? When I asked myself, like, am I having trouble paying my people? No, we're hiring more people. We're actually creating new jobs. Our business is thriving, and we're doing better than we ever have. And so we chose to not take the PPP loans because what I saw was businesses taking PPP loans that didn't need them, that were taking away from other businesses.
It's like why you don't eat at Potbelly anymore.
And so this is a perfect example. Perfect example. I actually have made the decision as an individual to not do business with a number of companies that chose to take PPP loans during that time because I felt like they took it because they qualified, not because they needed it. Potbelly's is one of those.
Yep.
So I'll call them out. Potbelly subs qualified as a small business because their technical corporate group had few enough employees, even though they're this giant company, yep. Right? Their technical corporate group was small enough to qualify, even though we're in this era of everybody eating out and these businesses are thriving. If you look at their performance during this time, massive wins.
Right.
And it's really offensive to me that companies that took massive wins during COVID took PPP loans.
Yep.
So I seek those companies out, and I specifically choose to do no business with them. I was actually a huge Potbelly fan because I like avocado on my sandwiches.
I still eat Potbelly. Those sandwiches are so good.
They're good, but I won't do it anymore. So that's maybe you call it a high horse. There are companies that needed it, but but again, that's.
Yeah, I'd say it's not a high horse either because everything we talk about, we're not hiding stuff behind a curtain here. Especially on these Q&As, everything we do and say is actually stuff we're doing and saying. Ryan legit has not ever ate Potbelly since COVID.
4 years
for that reason.
I have not eaten Potbelly for 4 years.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. I that's why I like that question. Our company is an open book. Lou, so Lou on YouTube asks a question that's really specific to the insides of our company and how we operate. We're a pretty open book, guys. I do not make decisions with real sports cards that I'm not comfortable with and proud of sharing in the open.
Yeah, exactly.
If you operate your business in a way behind the scenes that you're not afraid to talk about publicly, then that's how it should be.
Yep.
If you're making choices in your business that you feel like you have to keep quiet and private from your customers, then you probably should be reevaluating the decisions that you're making in your company.
Mm-hmm.
So, hit us with it. I love getting those kind of questions. And at the end of the day, if the questions and the decisions that we make with our business, help help inform you on, something that you're struggling with or a decision that you're trying to make in your business or in your family or at the workplace or whatever it is, then I'm happy to share that kind of stuff. So,
Yep, 100%.
yeah.
What up, Miller?
Miller's in the house.
I know we saw a couple more questions. Do you feel like it's tougher to get Topps allocation if you aren't affiliated with Fanatics Live?
For some people, yes. One, it is tough to get Topps allocation, period. Right? Topps does this by design.
Yep.
Topps has around 700 to 800 direct stores that have direct accounts. This is actually way more than in the past. Like before, pre-Fanatics, it was more like 200 to 300.
Mm-hmm.
They actually opened that up a lot. So there are 3 times as many shops, LCSs, today that have access to direct Topps product from Fanatics than pre-Fanatics. For the people out there who are like, Fanatics hates shops and only likes breakers, false narrative. What Fanatics has done with distribution tells a completely different story. Fanatics has supported LCSs by tripling the number of them that have direct access to product in the country that aren't dependent on distributors who mark product up.
Yep.
Right? So they've made it easier for shops to get product.
Correct.
Topps never sold direct to breakers pre-Fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
Fanatics has made it easier for breakers to get product than pre-Fanatics.
Yep.
So there are, over 100 breakers that are direct with Fanatics for accounts. So it has been easier for breakers to get product since Fanatics. I think the one thing that gets a little bit lost is Fanatics has rolled out a set of expectations that they expect from breaker partners, direct breakers, and direct shops for what your shop looks like. What are you doing as far as marketing and content creation? And are you putting money back into the hobby to help grow the hobby? Or are you just like sucking the money out of the hobby? The requirements for this product is that it goes to you guys and not gets flipped from dealer to dealer to dealer, which just adds middlemen and inflates the price of product. So like everything that we buy, because we have a breaker account and a shop account, they actually differentiate between them. Everything that we buy through the breaker account is required to be opened live on camera. That is how we have to sell that product. We actually have to report back to Fanatics monthly about those sales and where that product is sold. Everything that is sold to us through our shop account is required to be sold through our shop to collectors. So we cannot actually not sell that to another dealer. We can't flip it. We can't do all of these kinds of things. So, there are still a lot of people that have not gotten access to product, but a lot of the people who are showing that they're following the expectations of Fanatics are starting to be given those opportunities, even to a point where Topps now has a prospect account
For just getting started.
Yep. Right? And where you don't get all of the products, but you might get Series 1 and Series 2 and things like that, right? So so there are those kinds of programs that they're, trying to put out there to give people the start of getting access to product.
Yep.
So, it has not been really dependent on Fanatics Live. I think there are probably people who have increased their chances of getting product because of their investment into Fanatics Live. But we do not feel, we have a Fanatics Live channel.
Yep.
Yes, you can find us on Fanatics Live. But we do not feel that our decision to break on our own app has hurt our ability to source product we feel pretty good about the amount of product that we get, and don't often feel like we are left super, super short, with the exception of product runs that are just super, super short print runs.
Right. Yeah, and those are going to be it regardless. The other thing that you didn't mention is we're also, kind of excited about looking forward into 2025 and especially 2026 with Topps getting the licenses for NBA and NFL, because we were never the massive football or basketball breaker that had unlimited allocations of Panini product.
No, we actually really, really have struggled for 8 years to get quality Panini allocations. So Fanatics has certainly been better to us than Panini. Panini has made it really, really challenging for us to get the product that we need. And the truth is they have not cracked down on the dealers who are simply just taking allocations and flipping it the way Fanatics has. And the truth is we feel like that has left us short and other people getting profits off of flipping, which doesn't make me feel good. So actually I'm excited about Fanatics having the NBA and NFL licenses, because I believe that we will get more product access that we can then sell directly to collectors. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. So some of that truly, like, we're trying to show you're seeing us break some of the non-licensed basketball, some of the non-licensed football. The truth is our support of the non-licensed basketball and non-licensed football will influence our access to the licensed stuff when it comes out. So appreciate you guys who are having fun jumping in on Finest Basketball. Topps Chrome Football is going to be coming, things like that, because your support of those products is what's going to get us greater access to the licensed stuff when it comes out.
Don't mind me, I'm just getting some stuff ready just in case we run back. Topps Chrome WWE.
Topps Chrome WWE just dropped. Emil is scrambling to get number 2 ready as number 1 starts filling up. Tons of demand around this today. So even if you're not a WWE fan, come and hang out in the chat and hear Tom's best wrestling impressions. He totally told me, he's like, I'm gonna just be coming full force with my best wrestling impressions the whole show. So
I can't wait to see it.
He actually didn't say that, but now he's on the hook.
Now he's got to do it.
And he has to do it. So sorry, Tom. Tough. Now I just set the expectation. So
I saw Kyle ask a couple times, are there going to be any new products this year?
Yes.
Any ideas what they are?
But that's not what the question was.
Oh, that's true. The question just said, yeah.
The question was,
that was a yes or no question.
Any new products this year? Yes.
Perfect. All right, we'll move on from that
one. The truth is we hear about some of them, but all of the manufacturers are actually keeping everything on a much shorter time frame than they used to. So we used to hear about a lot of these new releases like 6 to 8 months in advance, because we had to order them 6 to 8 months in advance, and they're operating a lot more in real time now. So we hear about some of them, but a lot of times we're hearing about these things 2 months in advance, just like you guys are. When we go to the Topps conference here in a couple of months, they'll definitely give us some sneak peeks of some of the things that are coming for 2025 and stuff like that. So we'll make sure to share with you guys everything that's not confidential as soon as we can. Topps marketing is definitely withholding a lot of things for themselves so that they can make like splashier announcements.
Yeah.
So they're really being strategic about what they tell dealers and what they withhold for them to reveal themselves.
Yep.
So that's been an interesting dynamic to navigate from a marketing perspective, and also from a product sourcing perspective, because we have to make our decisions on how much product to buy and what price we should pay on a new release before we have all of the details about those releases. So that's been a unique business challenge to navigate.
Yep.
It's really changed a lot in the last year or two. So, but
Cool.
Awesome.
Anything last minute? We're a little over time now. Do we have any last questions? Chris asked about the new All Aces set in Series 1.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they crushed it.
Absolutely beautiful.
The All Aces were already cool, and they look good, but yeah, they made it look really good.
All Aces, Series 1 baseball. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. Otherwise,
They sold really well last year,
They
too.
did. I mean, the Ohtani was selling for a ton.
Yep.
So, for like a basic insert from a flagship product.
Correct.
So, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yep. Twins Win asked a little bit ago, and me and Tom both replied. But if you do have MVP buybacks locally, either in Wisconsin or Minnesota, today is the last day to get them in, turn them into credit, get some boxes, get some singles. So make sure you guys stop in today. It is the last day of MVP buyback. Tom actually has a special little 2024 Topps Chrome break where he's doing some Chrome bounty buyback or some Chrome buyback bounties to get some extra credit in there. So last chance there that you can redeem directly for some break credit.
Yep. Awesome.
So
excellent. Well, I think that rounds out our questions and our open forum. Appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for letting us hang out with you. Thanks for the support as always. Thanks for your friendship, and we will see y'all next week.
have a good one, guys.